talked about doing that. You left me hanging out. You left me out there on my
I had
own.
a different idea.
You should have told me. Well, we're in it now.
Hoop De Doo. Dinner and a show.
Yep.
Performers, good food, decent food.
Decent food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it because we went for Thanksgiving.
We did.
Yes. We have had 3 reservations, I think, prior to this one.
Yep.
To go to Hoop De Doo with my parents. None of us have been. And every time something happened, like it was too hot or something happened, health-wise or whatever. And so we finally decided, let's do this for Thanksgiving because we didn't have anything planned. Well, I was not able to get the reservations on Thanksgiving Day, even though I set my alarm, I woke up, and within the first minute that they were available, everything had sold out.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising.
Yeah. So the next day I woke up and I was able to get it for the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's what we did. We went with my parents. How do we explain this? So Hoop De Doo is a dinner theater show.
Yep.
At Fort Wilderness at the campsites there.
The longest running.
Longest, as far as I know, yeah. I should have checked that. But the longest running dinner theater in America, I believe. Now, obviously, it closed over COVID and that sort of thing. And it took a while for it to come back up. But so you can make reservations on the Disney, my Disney app, my Disney Experience app. And you prepay, and there are 3 tiers. It depends where you're sitting. And we got some really good seats.
The seats are pretty good.
Yeah, we were on the edge of the floor seating, so we weren't completely surrounded by people. And when we checked in and I told them that I had a food allergy, they directly sent me to the chef, and he walked me through the things that were naturally gluten-free that I would be able to eat and what they would be bringing me specifically. We went in. We were at the early show, the 4 or 4:30 show.
Yeah, I don't remember which was, but yeah, the earliest.
And already on your table is the salad, the cornbread, and the coleslaw.
Yep.
And they brought me my own cornbread, but I was able to eat the salad and the coleslaw.
Yeah.
And I thought both of those were really great.
Both of those were really good.
Yeah.
Now,
the 4 of us were starving at this point, so we dug into that salad and everything like mad.
Yeah, I had a little piece of the cornbread, and it was on from there because that cornbread was really, really good. So I was like, oh, don't mind if I do. Sorry.
The normal people's
The normal
cornbread.
gluten filled was pretty good.
Mine was very dry and crumbly like any gluten-free thing, but the butter was nice and that made up for it. And it was sweet. I mean, it had a good taste to it. It's just always the gluten-free consistency, it's going to throw you off.
The butter was nice.
The butter was
You sat
nice.
down and it was like, well, hello.
Yes, it's a good day, sir. And it's a good afternoon.
Oh, no, you ruined it.
So then I think at that point the show starts a few minutes later.
Yeah.
And it's an Old West type show. Like
it's a saloon type show.
One character is called Johnny Ringo. One character was,
2-bit.
Whatever. Yeah, 2-bit. And they're all in like old kind of saloon type, costumes and stuff. And they sang their Hoop De Doo song. They did a few things. They tell some jokes, the corniest of jokes. I thought it was great. I loved it.
So I thought the overall experience was really good. They also sang some kind of, grade school standards, like Coming Around the Mountain when she comes.
Yeah.
And, a bunch of those all jazzed up.
Yeah. Plus it was Christmas, so every once in a while they stopped and they did a Christmas song. It was really lovely.
So it was all songs you know.
Yeah.
And they encourage you to kind of join in.
Davy Crockett.
Yep, Davy Crockett.
So the musicians blew me away. There was one pianist and one guy on a banjo, and they were amazing.
They sounded like a lot more than just two instruments.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
And it was live. It was not dubbed. It was live because they, would go riff off a little bit and stuff. And they were some fantastic musicians.
Yeah. And the whole cast really was. I mean,
good voices.
It's not easy to perform while there's 150 people or whatever chowing down on food, and
that's my nightmare.
Possibly not paying attention to you, and they would take breaks. So like the main food would come out. So they brought out ribs, fried chicken that came with beans, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese.
Yes.
I mean, it was a lot of food.
It was a lot of food.
So I was able to eat the potatoes and beans, but they brought me my own mac and cheese, which was basically Barilla, out of a box. And they brought me my own chicken and ribs. That was enough for the four of us. Yeah. Like for one person, I was shocked. Now, I don't eat either of that. The chicken was on a bone. And
she doesn't eat chicken on the bone.
It was kind of a waste of food, and I probably should have told them that. That's my mistake.
Well, I wonder, and I encouraged her to do this, and she didn't want to make a fuss, and that's how she is. But I was going to ask if they had tenders, like gluten-free tenders.
I'm sure they would accommodate something, but it doesn't. I wasn't really there. Again, I wasn't there for the food. I was really there for the entertainment, and I was there hoping that the four of us were just going to have a nice time.
If you have anybody gluten-free in your life, you probably already know that they are experts at just kind of, saying, there's not going to be much here for me. I'm not going to eat that much, and they're okay with it. And that's how she is a lot of the time.
Well, there was a ton of food for a gluten-free person to eat.
Right.
It's just that I'm picky and I don't eat that food.
Well, right. So
it's different.
Yeah, it is a little different. And as your husband, I really wish sometimes that you would
eat food I don't like?
No. Just ask for something that you do like.
Anyway.
Sorry, sidebar.
The entertainment would take breaks every once in a while to let people eat their food and that sort of thing. At the end, there was audience participation. They brought people up and they participated in the show. That was really funny. They brought out washboards.
Gave one to your dad.
There was like one on every table. My dad got one. And that was loud.
It was very loud. She had to plug her ears. It was very loud. And it got you and your mom was I looked over and your dad's, having a good time. He's like, yeah. And your mom's like, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was kind of comical.
Fun to see. There was as corny as the show was, which again, I loved. I thought it was funny. I thought the performers were great. I just dig that stuff. Mm-hmm. But also to watch the kids around us.
Wow,
They just had a blast.
It was surprising how into it the little kids were.
Yeah. I thought, I thought that was so great again, it's a Disney thing. And so people go, it's for the kids. Well, no, it's not. Because there's no way they really could have understood a lot of the jokes. But they knew there were jokes happening, and there were people just kind of acting silly.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly it.
The kids were just enjoying that. Yeah. But it was, I can imagine doing that as a kid because, I remember doing medieval times as a kid, and just not having silverware and cheering on these, teams and stuff. As a kid, that's something it's just fun and it's different, and you don't get to do that stuff a lot. So
yeah. And if you've done any research into the show at all, that event, Hoop De Doo Revue, it was exactly what you think it would be if you've seen it and aren't sure.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it looks like.
Absolutely.
And as a gluten privileged person, I can say that on behalf of your dad too.
You get your money's worth.
They bring you.
My fidgeting.
They bring you, it's family style, which means, they bring you as much as you want. You can keep getting refills on mac and cheese and mashed potatoes, which we took full advantage of. And even the fried chicken and the ribs.
and it's all included sangria
Oh yeah,
and beer.
and beer and soda, obviously.
And soda and all that, but unlimited sangria and beer, well, as much as you want, is included in this. And I think where we were sitting, I believe it was $60 or $65 a person.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the amount of food that you got and the entertainment, I think that's totally worth it.
I've spent $65 on just meals and had a lesser experience than
Absolutely.
this. So yeah, I think if you're at all interested, do it. It's a fun time.
So then the big thing at the end is the dessert. They bring out the strawberry shortcake. There's a whole strawberry shortcake song. How was the strawberry shortcake?
Strawberry shortcake was pretty good. The shortcake itself was, packaged. Probably you could get it in any bakery or any.
Well, what surprised me was, and they brought me my own strawberry shortcake, but I don't eat strawberries, so it didn't matter. They put in the pan. It's like they put all the strawberries on the bottom, and then they stick this cake, and then they put whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
Where I'm used to like the strawberries being poured on the cake and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they do that so that the cake, because I'm sure they prepare it minutes in advance, probably a little bit in advance. And if you did that, the strawberries would soak the cake and make it mushy.
That's true.
So I think they probably do this for mechanical reasons, actually. Yeah. And that didn't put me off at all. That was just fine. The strawberries and the syrup were really good. The cake was good. It wasn't fresh baked, but it didn't need to be. It was really good. And the whipped cream. Good. Yeah.
Good. So I think it's something that if you come to Disney World often enough, or if you live here, I think it's something that you should do once. Yeah. I think it's totally worth it. I think going back there into Fort Wilderness, seeing this area back there where the Tri-Circle D Ranch is and where they keep the horses. And at this time of year, I don't know if it's all, they had a wagon that was being pulled by the horses. I just think it's a lovely experience all the way around to kind of go back and do, especially around the holiday time.
And it wasn't as arduous as I was led to believe or thought it might be, because you do have to, where you park, you do have to go to a little bus stop and catch a bus to the actual hall. I'd
say parking is probably the worst part of anything. Yeah. There just isn't a lot of parking.
Yep.
So if you can take a boat ride from Magic Kingdom, which you can, that I think is smarter, but it takes longer. So again, you just need to plan ahead of time what to do. But they do 3 shows a night, which is also incredible.
Yeah, and near as we can tell, it's the same performers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but never heard complaints about the show. And they're really solid, kind of amazing performers when you think about it.
Absolutely.
And they just put on a really great show.
Yeah, I thought it was a great experience, and I'm glad we did it.
In a canyon, excavating for a mine, like a miner, 49er,
I wouldn't mind doing it again, in a few years or something, if we decided we wanted to see something or whatever. But again, I feel like for me, I would need to get better food just because it makes it worth the price of the ticket.
I'm sure it's somewhere in there. You probably just have to
I still love the entertainment, so I'm okay. So that was our Hoop De Doo experience.
Yep.
Again, you can make reservations on the My Disney Experience app. Check it out. If you've been to Hoop De Doo, what do you think? Are you a fan? Have you been multiple times? I know there's people who go all the time. And I do know that they have different shows, because there are elements that I've seen on other videos that we didn't do.
Yeah.
So they do mix it up. And so I understand going back and seeing more, because I just think it's fun.
I'd go back tomorrow for the mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes.
There you have it.
Yeah. That could just be my gluten privilege talking.
That's right. All right, you guys. I'm Danny.
I'm John.
And thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel if you can. Like this video. Comment below like we said. And thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.